bill, instead of opposing it, why not just put those amendments in that you'd like to see and see where you get?
Well, I'll give you an example. The bill is just warped. The reason that she is accepting so many amendments, and every single one of the ones that you just mentioned were actually Labour proposals, which government finally ended up accepting. So, Priti Patel is not opening this with a bipartisan call to get these sorts of things right. She's been really, really tribal in the way that she has approached this bill. Let me just give you one example. In the bill, there is a very strident mandatory sentence if you vandalise a statue. So it means that if a mob takes a statue and throws it into the water and then turns around and throws a woman into the water, there will be a 10-year sentence for throwing the statue into the water, but there won't be anything like that for the person. So these are the sorts of things that Priti Patel has shoved this bill full of, but she's ignored the overall trends in crime. So the number of prosecutions for crime since 2010 has halved, the ones that actually make it through to the courts. There is a 56,000 waiting list for Crown Court hearings at the moment. All of these things are major problems, but fundamentally, women and children are ignored in the bill. Victims are ignored in the bill, and they promised a Bill of Rights for this, but they haven't actually delivered it. They need to stop and pause and then reflect and come back with a bill that is more comprehensive and is more fit for the actual trends in crime that we see as a country right now. Because right now, this bill is a series of very disjointed, very partisan measures which don't add up to a set of measures that really empower law enforcement to tackle crime, to get the courts streamlined so victims actually have the right voice and power and are unignorable in the system. And certainly people aren't supported, and we're not putting anything like the kind of preventative measures into the system that need to happen so we prevent crime happening in the first place, particularly for women and children.
Yes, although some, I think, did come out of that meeting this evening that John Craig listed, that some of that was preventative measures, and the pandemic will not help.